by Davante Adams at the pylon. Touchdown! A.J. Brown. Oh, that's crazy! Darren Jones up the middle. Breaks through. He's down the left sideline. Still on his feet. He's got a chance to the 10 to the 5 to the end zone. Tannehill pan. 5. Done for the end zone. Touchdown! Titans! Zadarius Smith with the sack and strip. Preston Smith with the scoop and score. Henry gets the carry to the 25. Henry to the 20, to the 15, to the 10, to the 5. Oh, yes! 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 Yes!
All right, this is the one I've got circled this weekend. 2 of the final 4 teams from a year ago, Titans-Packers, meet tomorrow. A Titans win puts them in the playoffs for the 2nd straight season. A win plus a Colts loss, they lock up the NFC South. Now to the Packers. Green Bay secures a first-round bye with a win and a Seahawks loss to the Rams. So that means the NFC playoffs would run through Lambeau Field. Now think about this, guys. No fans, cold temps in Green Bay. Arguably the best home field advantage. The Titans lead the league in scoring, which is crazy when I look down at that. Packers are 3rd. This game should get wild. Sean, what are you expecting from Derrick Henry?
Yeah, Jane, it's pretty mind-boggling that the Titans lead the NFL in scoring offense. You would think it would be the high-flying offense of the Green Bay Packers. So I'm going to quote one of the greatest Green Bay Packers of all time, looks like a young Davante Adams, Sterling Sharp. And he used to always say, why fly when you can drive? And that's exactly what the Tennessee Titans are doing. They're driving that bus. They're driving Derrick Henry. And I think when you look at what their offense can do on the ground, number one, you want to play smash mouth football against a team and run downhill with Derrick Henry. That takes the life out of them, and that wears them down. But it also keeps AR on the sidelines, and it keeps him sitting over there on the bench. So as an offensive lineman, or if you're Derrick Henry, the colder, the better in this game, because every single one of those DBs, D-Hall will tell you this, man. When it's cold out, it hurts when you get a big back coming downhill on you. The safeties and the corners. In the first quarter, they're going to be coming downhill to make the tackle. And in the fourth quarter, they're going to be diving to get out of the way.
Sean, I'm honestly torn. I hear what you're saying, and usually I would advise a team that can run the football and play ball control, try to slow down the other team and set the pace yourself. But I think this could be a good test for Tennessee, because if they've got to face Kansas City again in the postseason, you may have to match their tempo. You may have to catch up to them. To me, right now, I'm looking at Green Bay is tied with Tennessee at 6.2 yards per play on offense this year. And the only team ahead of them is Kansas City, 6.4. And we know how KC can score in bunches, and it was kind of like that in the AFC Championship game. Tennessee set the pace early, but eventually Kansas City's going to hit the gas. And can you match it? I think this Tennessee team this year, with the way that their receivers and targets are playing for Ryan Tannehill, can play that game a little bit. So maybe test it out here. See if you can match a pace of a team that can pick up yardage the way that Kansas City can.
Listen, I think the thing that stands out for me is going to be this Tennessee Titans pass rush against this offense that's led by Aaron Rodgers at home. That's what concerns me. They have a league-low 14 sacks, and even when I looked at this one, 2.5 seconds. Anytime that you give Aaron Rodgers that time or more, he has the most touchdowns, the highest passer rating at home this season, and he's only thrown 1 interception there at Lambeau. So that's what concerns me a little bit. I think Davante Adams could have a day. I was there covering that game when it was the Browns-Titans in Nashville. We saw, obviously, what Baker Mayfield was able to do against them. I'd hate to see what Aaron Rodgers, that Tennessee Titans defense, specifically the pass rush, has been a bit of an Achilles heel for them this season.
Yeah, and I'm just looking forward to watching this Green Bay team against another physical opponent. The last time, Green Bay's Achilles heel last year was the 49ers. This year, they ran up on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Not many teams have pushed Green Bay into that zone where they have to play physical, where defensively they can't just rush the quarterback. They have to tackle this running game of Tennessee. And so I think we're going to learn a whole lot about Green Bay. And look, they don't have to answer these questions to me, but I want to see it. I want to see them play against a physical opponent on both sides of the football. And I know you guys are saying Tennessee's defense is not very good, but I tell you what, I've been on a team like that. You will feed off that offense. You will feed off of Derrick Henry imposing his will on those opponents on the other side of the field. So I think Tennessee's...
For Vegas. So, D-Hall, I got to ask you, what catches your eye in this one?
Well, you know what? You said Derek Carr is going to be under center. I almost thought the Raiders had more of a chance if Marcus Mariota was under center, because the way this Dolphins defense is playing right now, it's all about protecting Tua, not making him do too much. And so that Dolphins defense is going to have an opportunity to make some plays. I think Marcus Mariota, the mobility of him, which I think you still might see him a little bit incorporated in for that read option. But this Dolphins team can go as far as his defense takes them.
All right. I wanted to linger on that thought that he had there. All right, finally, we've got the first game of the day, Bucks here on NFL Network. Of course, we've got 49ers and Cardinals also here. Arizona back on track after a rough November. Kyler and the Cards can clinch a playoff berth with a win and a Bears loss. Today, they'll be tested by a 49ers defense ranked number 5 in the league. The Niners also get George Kittle back as well. Sean, that can help him at all?
Well, I don't know if they can complete a pass to George Kittle, so he may have to run the football. You know, they've struggled with keeping quarterbacks healthy this year. Practically the entire roster's been banged up. But really, this game is all about the Arizona Cardinals. It's crazy to think that DeAndre Hopkins was traded. I don't know why anybody would want to ship that guy out, but he has been phenomenal for Kyler Murray. You go back and look at this Week 1 matchup. He shredded the 49ers defense in Week 1 for 151 yards. That was before he really even had any time to work with Kyler. So imagine what he's going to do coming off a career-best game last week against his 49ers defense chain. Without Richard Sherman, without Jimmy Ward, they're banged up across the board. So this is not going to be a walkthrough for Arizona. This is going to be an air shootout. And for Kyler and for DeAndre, they're going to put on a show.
Yeah, just unfortunate when you consider where the 49ers were, the expectations for this year, and where they are now. All right, guys, now we'll get to the first game of the day. Bucks at Lions here on NFL Network at 1 p.m. Eastern. Tampa Bay, 1 win away from their first playoff berth since 2007. Now, Brady and the Bucks have righted the pirate ship in December. Back-to-back wins. They're currently the 6th seed. Let's out at Ford Field in Detroit and say good morning to Sarah Walsh. Sarah, a lot going on there, including the trip that you had. You've already got your hands busy with those adorable twins of yours, but you had quite the flight just getting there to do this game for us this morning.
My flight was not as bad or as long as your flight, so I've got some perspective there. And while I felt bad leaving the kids for Christmas, they've got new stuff to play with. They probably haven't even realized I'm gone yet. As for today's game, Tom Brady can put an end to the second longest playoff drought in the NFL with a win over the Lions today. Brady said this week that he hopes his team is playing at a much higher level starting today because he believes there is a lot left of football to play for this Bucs team. They talked about wanting faster starts. They want a complete game, and now they get a Lions team that is far from whole when it comes to the coaching staff. Interim head coach Darrell Bevell, one of 5 Lions coaches that have been ruled out because of COVID protocols. So their wide receivers coach, Robert Prince, is going to step in to fill those duties for him. Bevell called this week super frustrating, and he said he'll be watching this game somewhere home alone and that he will be far less calm than he would be if he could be in here today. Jane?
Sarah Walsh, like Tom Brady, the GOAT, she does it all. Thank you so much for waking up with us this morning. All right, Bucks hoping to get back to the postseason for the first time since the John Gruden.